In the process of the discussion, it was clear that people are saying Zuma must go. My problem was that it's not a new thing. It has been said the entire year.
Speaking out, South African President Jacob Zuma says calls for him to resign are unfair, but his party is set to hold a vote of no confidence. We'll go live to Pretoria with the latest. Also ahead, police in Israel say there is sufficient evidence to bring corruption charges against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He says the investigation will end in nothing. We'll cross to Jerusalem for what happens next. And she's been fighting for women's rights for decades. Her work is only becoming more and more relevant. My conversation with feminist icon Gloria Allred is coming up. Hello and welcome to Connect the World. I'm Lynda Kinkade, live in Atlanta, filling in for Becky Anderson. We start with the unfolding turmoil in South Africa. President Jacob Zuma is not going down without a fight. His own ANC party has demanded his resignation, and the country's parliament will hold a no-confidence vote on Thursday. But just a couple of hours ago, the 75-year-old leader took to live television to plead his case to the people. In a lengthy pitch, he said the decision to remove him from power is unfair. Well, let's go directly now to our David McKenzie in Pretoria. And David, this was meant to be an interview, but it sounded like a long and rambling speech. The president trying to make a case to stay on. And he said all those saying Zuma must go never provided reasons.
Well, that's right. And in this building, the union buildings behind me, that lengthy monologue mostly that the president gave, he was very unclear whether he will resign or not. The pressure piling onto him from the opposition and, of course, from his own party, who want to schedule a no-confidence vote in Parliament where they could fire him. Now, in that address, as it were, on live television, he played himself as the victim, aired out the dirty laundry of the ANC of the past 10 days or so of back and forth negotiations and chaos within the ruling party, and ultimately asked the question, well, what has he done?
I think it is important for me to say this because out there in the narrative, it looks like, as people are saying, Zuma is defying. I've not defied. I've disagreed with a decision taken. I disagree with it. I think it is baseless.
Well, in fact, he was defiant throughout that live interview, and he said that he really had done nothing wrong, but the burden of evidence and allegations over many years has shown, in fact, that there's many things, according to his own party and others, that he has done wrong. Lynda?
And David, if he does not resign tonight, his own party, the ANC, will have that no confidence vote tomorrow. How could that play out?
Well, certainly it would be a unified front, it seems, between the opposition and the ANC largely, where they just need a simple majority. But there have also been dramatic developments here in the Pretoria-Johannesburg region today when you had the Hawks, the investigative high-priority crimes unit swooping on a variety of residences, arresting 3, expecting 2 others to hand themselves in over a corruption saga that we have reported on. We visited some of the farmers who have been the victims of this saga and these allegations.
For his cattle to survive, Meshach Ngongwana must take his herds to the cemetery. He says black farmers in the Free State province have it tough.
We want to send our children to schools. That's the main thing.
A few years back, these ranchers say they signed up for shares and cash in a large-scale government-financed dairy farm.
You were supposed to have ownership in this company?
Yes.
And have you seen any money?
No, nothing. Nothing. Even a cent of it. We have never got it.
We're from CNN. We just wanted to see if we could access the property to talk to people. So the allegation is that millions of dollars were siphoned away from this dairy project into the hands of other people and that it hasn't really benefited the community at all. What do you make of the allegations of corruption?
You can't. That's a secondary question to me. Say, I'm just an assistant farm manager. I'm operating the farm. I don't look like I have even a single million. So.
But records first exposed in South African media show that much of the money meant to uplift poor black farmers allegedly paid for this. A lavish wedding at Sun City for the Gupta family, covered in local celebrity show Top Billing. Wealthy Indian businessmen with an empire that spans media, mining and energy, the Guptas are implicated in this and other corruption scandals, allegedly profiting from their cozy relationship with President Jacob Zuma. Allegations that the Guptas and Zuma have repeatedly denied.
And it was the Gupta compound that was raided today in that move by the Hawks. And that allegation is just the tip of the iceberg. There have been so many more over the years. So when President Zuma says he doesn't know what he's done wrong, well, many in the country point to examples like that. Now, the question is, in the next few hours, will he use a statement that he's promised to come out to resign, or will he dig in further? His options are certainly being rapidly reduced, with Parliament moving to fire him in Cape Town.
Yeah, and you can only imagine after that speech earlier that he will in fact dig in further, but we'll see how it plays out. David McKenzie, great to have you with us. Thank you.